As a teacher, NotebookLM is one of my favorite tools to help create material for my students. I really like it because, well, it's free. That's a good place to start. And the best thing is it's easily constrainable to only pull from the material that I want it to pull from. It's not going to pull from random sources or make up sources as likely. So it is a free product by Google. It probably won't work with your school Google account unless your administrator has approved it. But if you have a personal Google account or you have the power to approve it for your school, you can use it. But it is supposed to be for 18 and older. So really, this is a teacher tool, not a student tool. So I'm going to demonstrate a few use cases. First of all, I'm going to create a new notebook. And I'm going to add sources. The sources I'm going to add is the material from the Hosea unit of Encounter. Click Add Source, and I'm going to select all the documents that I have saved from the Encounter unit. I have now uploaded the Hosea unit appendixes and then the whole unit plan to NotebookLM, and you see it already gives me a quick little summary, but there's a few other tools and things I can do with this. It's only going to pull from that unit, so I like how it constrains it. I could generate a podcast that summarizes everything, and it's kind of cool. I can ask it all sorts of questions, like I could ask about which verses are referenced in this unit. I could say, how many times does it use the word Gomer or Hosea in this unit? Or tell me all the activities that are listed in here. But what I want to demonstrate for you today is how to use this to write an assessment. So I've used this to write my exams and tests, and for this, I'm going to try and see how well it gives us an exam. So I'm going to say, write me an exam for 10th graders that should take them 60 to 90 minutes to complete. Align it with the standards in the documents and make all of the questions higher order thinking. All right, I'm going to have it generate. Now, an important thing to remember is this is a tool to help you do these tasks, not something that's going to do them for you. So it's going to give us some questions, and some of them might not be very good, and some of them are going to be dead on. But mostly what I find it useful for is it gives me a place to start to remember all the different stuff that's in the unit so that my questions are reflective of the material in the unit. So you can see it tells us even the standards that it assessed, which is helpful. And each time you do it might be a little different. I'm going to scroll up to the top. It looks already like this will take longer than 90 minutes. I'm not going to read everything. You can see it here, though. It says, here's one question. The Old Testament presents a complex view of God. How do the sources, and I would change, instead of sources, I would change, how does the Bible, or how does Hosea, demonstrate that God's character is both loving and just? And how might these two aspects of God's character interact according to the Bible, or Hosea, instead of saying sources? See, this is where you got to edit a little, right? Let's go on down. Let's see if we can find another one. The book of Hosea addresses the concept of idolatry. According to the sources, or you say the textbook, whatever you want to say, what forms of idolatry take in ancient Israel, and what are some potential modern equivalents? That's a good question. I'd rework that a little, but it leads us in the right direction. I find this a very useful way to get me started on my exams and to help my students reach higher orders thinking. You can see that it's not just taking rote memorization, but the questions help the students to dive deeper into the material. We even have some questions that reference the Bible, or Bible passages specifically, which is even better. I hope this tool has been useful and is a blessing to you. Be blessed.